Imagine getting into a 3-year long relationship, right? You leave your relationship because, let's be honest, sometimes it just doesn't work out for whatever particular reason. You think you're fine, and then you're ready to start your new life as a single person for, honestly, who knows how long. But then your psycho ex comes back and attempts to sue you once, fails, and then tries to sue you again. This is the story of Adept and XQC. Alright, so obviously you know who XQC is. He doesn't really need, an introduction. However, if you don't know who Adept is, let me give you a quick rundown, right? She was a Twitch streamer back in the day who really got her big break thanks to XQC. She didn't do anything remotely special. All she really did was typical Ariel streams, Fortnite, and whatever would come on. So like more than likely Among Us. But if you know who she is, then it's either one of 3 things. She was twerking on Ice Poseidon back in the day. 2, which is the big one, suing XQC under the guise of common law marriage in the state of Texas. Basically, is where 2 people are not legally married but still identified as being married on things like, like taxes, taking each other's last names, signing a lease with both people on it, etc, etc. Or 3, allegedly selling XQC's McLaren. I say allegedly with the 3rd one because it was a countersuit from XQC where he pretty much claimed that Adept sold his McLaren while there was a court order to freeze all assets. Yeah, I know, it gets a little confusing. There's a lot of history here, but we had to unpack all of that. But ultimately, that was dismissed by a judge, so who knows what actually happened. So fast forward to 2024, Adept fails to sue XQC, ends up filing for bankruptcy due to the crazy amount of legal costs that she ended up amounting, attempting to even come at this guy. So you think that would be the end of it, right? Wrong. Adept refuses to accept defeat. I will give this to her, if not anything else, she is persistent. So she ends up filing another suit, but instead of it being in Texas, she's doing it in California. So, let's give her a round of applause. And the funny thing is that according to XQC, she couldn't even be bothered to create something new. It is literally just a copy and paste, and all she's doing is praying to God that it hits this time. Damn! Here are some of the defenses that I personally picked out because they're absolutely absurd. Also, big shout out to Heavy Resilient. He also broke down the file because I am in no way qualified or smart enough to understand any of this. Link to his video is down in the description below. Plaintiff, referring to XQC, failed to make reasonable steps to mitigate/delay taking steps to compound alleged damages, which if you don't know what that means, it basically boils down to bro didn't act fast enough to stop me from selling his car. Like, what the f does that even mean? Was he supposed to have some sixth sense like Spider-Man and go, I have a sneaking suspicion that Adept is going to sell my vehicle? You're out of your goddamn mind. Number 2, defendant, referring to Adept, acted in good faith and with reasonable grounds to believe its actions did not violate California law. Bro, I don't even know where to get started on this one. So basically, Adept didn't think she violated the law, so it should be dropped, right? No, get the out of here. There was a court order to freeze all assets. So you heard that and thought, well, surely he's not talking about my cars. You're an actual smooth brain if you think that's the case. That's genuine chimpanzee behavior. And 3, defendant XQC has unclean hand. Pack this lawyer up and ship him out, man. This has to be the most wild suit I have ever seen. It feels like the lawyer gave Adept false hope just so the lawyer could get a nice little paycheck. This is genuine insanity. So there's also another one, but that one basically boils down to that the defendant reserves the right to add any future things to this suit. So in this file, she's alleging everything under the sun. If it's something bad, then it's more than likely on here. 1, sexual battery. 2, battery. 3, intentional infliction of emotional distress. 4, false light invasion of privacy, which basically means to rumors to paint Adept as a horrible person, which I'm pretty sure she hasn't done that already herself. 5, intentional defamation. 6, intentional interference with contractual relations. And 7, negligent interference with prospective economic advantage. So straight out the gate, Adept comes just throwing haymakers left and right. She airs out how much XQC made on that kick deal, which was $100 million, and points out his 12 million followers on Twitch. She uses that to pretty much show that XQC has wealth and power to make her life a living hell. She even calls XQC fans comparable to Alex Jones, which is, it's just actually a true statement, so good on her. She also goes on about the common law marriage that was the whole point of the last suit, but it's not in Texas this time. So why does it matter? Well, because California doesn't even recognize common law marriage as a real thing. And if they did, the last suit was thrown out because it was determined that it wasn't the case. Why did it happen again? Well, at this point, it's a safe bet to that poor Adept has short-term memory loss and possibly forgot that she was even in the suit to begin with. So something new with this suit is her saying how she was frequently abused by the little man gremlin known as XQC. But honestly, what type of man buys a McLaren for someone who he's frequently abused? I guess you can say it's a manipulation tactic or it's some form of lump bombing, but if it's as frequent as she says it is, why was it never even in the original suit back in Texas? Now that you lost the original one, you're thinking of some ways to spin this entire situation and you chose abuse? Shame, bro. Shame. Let me remind you, according to XQC, the original suit was attached with a letter saying, "Pay me $10 million."
That thing was attached to some letter that was asking for 10 mil so that it doesn't come out.
And I'll make this go away. So excuse me for thinking that this is a bit ridiculous. She even paints that she stopped her entire career to basically be hand and foot for XQC. But what career is she even referring to? So this is one of the most serious allegations. She claims that XQC basically assaulted her and then raped her. It was so bad that she called the police and they arrived with their kits, documented bruises, lacerations to her bits, and had an emergency protective order against XQC. But she didn't pursue anything at the time because she didn't properly understand the gravity of the situation. Now, this did come back in the last suit, and the officer who was at the scene was actually subpoenaed to testify in court back in July of 2023, which doesn't make any sense. You didn't understand the gravity of the situation, but your lawyer subpoenaed the officer on your behalf during the last filing? So which one is it, Adept? She also says XQC changed the locks on me back in 2024 during Valentine's Day after I didn't let him get back with me. Bro, who gives a f? You attempted to sue the guy. I changed the locks on you as well. And that XQC was going to remove all of her items that were in the Texas home. So why do you still have your stuff in XQC's house? You're so quick to sue the man, but you left things inside of his house and you still haven't gotten them? If this were true, where's the evidence supporting any of this? No police reports, screenshots, text messages, just the filing? Another thing is towards the end, she harps back to XQC defaming her and being the reason why she's unable to create a career for herself now. Totally not the fact that she's claimed multiple times that XQC essayed her, constantly suing XQC with absolutely no proof besides a he said she said type, being basically a walking nightmare for any type of brand in the future. And the best one of all, not having a career to begin with is always my personal favorite. But these were the only topics I wanted to bring to light. If you want a more of an in-depth look, then please watch the 40-minute Henry Resilient video. His video was honestly the only way I was able to get any of this info and actually understand it, because once again, I'm in no way smart enough to understand a multiple page lawsuit, and I work in a business similar to this. His video is linked down below. My name is Big Papa Tess. If you enjoyed the video, then please don't hesitate to give me a like, comment, and even a sub. I'm an up-and-coming commentary YouTuber, so your support really does mean a whole lot to me. You have yourself a good one, and take care. Bye-bye.